Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Dee, and I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm having a lot of profound insights and like light bulb moments are going off in my brain. And I just wanted to share because, yeah, I like to keep a log of, these things. And it's just starting to pour down with rain. So I'm going through like a big change in support workers at the moment. And with the new ones that I'm hiring, I've decided to try and find ones that say that they're experienced in or have knowledge of DID. And it's very hard to find someone. But I found two ladies that both have other clients with DID or have had them in the past, sorry. So they're knowledgeable. I don't have to explain the disorder to them, and they understand it, they've experienced it, they're okay to work with it, and they're like a perfect fit. And I've had like these new support workers. One started this morning actually. The others I've had for about 4 weeks now. And just the difference in the last 4 weeks, I'm realizing how important it is to have people supporting me that actually understand and accept DID. Because it's made such a difference to my quality of life. Last week, No Name switched out, and No Name is very non-verbal, likes to hide under hoodies and I guess not communicate. And the new support workers that I've got were so good with No Name. They actually interacted with them. The support workers I've had in the past would always ignore our switches, and whenever poor No Name was out, they would just be left. There'd be no really like communication or interaction with No Name. The support workers would just kind of just carry on like nothing had happened, but also just be quiet and not interact with No Name and just let No Name be. And I always accepted that and was okay with it, thinking that, that was normal. But with my new support workers, I've experienced the opposite, where they actually try to get to know No Name, and they have interacted with No Name and engaged with them. And I'm looking at that, back on that, and I'm looking at how No Name received that interaction, and it's just very eye-opening that I accepted my old support workers and their level of support and understanding as okay and normal, and it wasn't, because these new supports that I have are just, it's very eye-opening at how accepting and understanding they are, and that they're okay to interact with No Name, like the parts of me that come out that don't function and like to hide and whatever. And it's not okay to ignore someone's DID parts because you are uncomfortable with them or you don't know how to interact with them. Like it's just not okay. And to think I settled for that, I'm so disappointed in myself for being okay with my old support workers and for accepting that as normal and okay to do, because it was not. It was quite damaging the way they were treating me and my DID parts. And having these new support workers do the opposite has been so eye-opening and a lot better for us, because we're more comfortable, and we know we can be ourselves and be treated with respect and kindness and acknowledgement that, we're not just ignored and not interacted with. And so I've got really good support workers now, and I think it's important to, when you're trying to find support workers, to advertise and not settle for less than you deserve or for people that don't understand your disability. Get people that are actually experienced and have worked with those disabilities in the past, because it makes such a difference. Like No Name just could not believe that someone actually acknowledged them. And knowing that we're safe to be ourselves and not have a support worker demand that we grow up and act like an adult so they can go home in 30 minutes time, or demand that we get up and function, or, as that's happened to us in the past with our old support workers. These new ones kind of have the initiative to think, oh, Dee's not being herself right now. Okay, there's another part out, maybe a childlike part or a traumatized part, and they will engage with that part to see how they can help that part and comfort that part. What does that part need, and meet those needs, instead of demanding that Dee switches back out or gets up and functions like an adult, because that's invalidating and dismissive of that DID part that was present, and it's invalidating and it causes a lot more damage, which is what has happened in our case. Because when the old support worker demanded that we get up and function like an adult and whatever, so that she could feel comfortable enough to go home and finish her shift in half an hour, that was damaging to us. It wasn't just invalidating and dismissive, it was damaging to the point that after that happened, for 6-7 weeks, nobody switched out. Nobody was comfortable to switch out. And I was left to deal with life without my parts, and because they were that damaged by that interaction that they stopped coming out. They felt like it wasn't safe and that they weren't welcome. And with these new support workers, in just the 4 weeks that I've had them, showing us that they understand and accept DID and that everyone's welcome, and actually interacting with the parts and taking the time to build a relationship with them, even the parts that are hard to relate to or get along with, or maybe they don't like, they still try. And that's the opposite to what the old support workers did. And even though what the old support workers did was damaging, it's been very hard to switch and be ourselves with the new support workers, But knowing the new support workers have other clients with DID and that they know how to deal with the parts properly when switches happen, and that they're accepting and caring and actually interact with them, we're starting to switch again. And even though a lot of damage has been done with the old support workers, we are starting to get better and get back to normal and recover. But it's very important to make sure when you're picking support workers that they understand your conditions and are accepting of it and aren't dismissive or invalidating or demanding and, I guess in a sense, emotionally abusive. And it angers me that people advertise that they're experienced with DID and trauma and psychosocial or mental health disabilities when they aren't. And to say you're experienced in DID when you've only had one client with DID and you were demanding and dismissive and essentially emotionally abusive to that person, I'm sorry, but you're not experienced, and you can't, like, it's false advertising, and you're just going to damage some other poor traumatized client in the process. And it's disgusting that that's been happening and that my DID is being used against me to apparently show that this person is experienced when this person was not experienced, compared to my new support workers that I have that actually are experienced. And having this light bulb moment where I'm sitting here and I'm actually realizing the difference, and that it was not okay for me to be treated in that way, and that it's disgusting that this person is advertising as experienced in these disabilities when they don't even interact or didn't ever interact with No Name, just basically ignored No Name whenever they were out, and then invalidating and demanding and all of that. It's just, I'm sitting here trying to process it, and I'm realizing that I settled for less. And I just wanted to come on here and put the message out that don't settle for less. Make sure when you do get support workers that they actually have the experience and can prove that they have the experience and the knowledge of your disabilities. Otherwise, you're just causing yourself more damage and more deterioration by putting up with that. And I'm really glad that I've sought out support workers that actually have experience and knowledge in DID, because yeah, it's been eye-opening. It's been very healing, and to not have to mask and to know that any part is safe to come out and they will actually be respected for who they are and treated with love, care and kindness, and supported and interacted with. Yeah. So, yeah, DID and being on the NDIS and finding support workers, I guess that's my insights and my message for today that I wanted to get across, and wanted to come on here and document it and vlog it. Yeah. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching my video. Stay tuned. I have some more short educational psychology videos coming out soon, covering all things DID, invisible disability, chronic illness, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe wherever you are in the world, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.